and it's a comedy that's so
Quiet,
bad.
Patrick, the trailer's starting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, the podcast where we take an axe and just break apart these movies. From the 1890 studios, my name is Dale.
Just got done from the dentist, and I'm still feeling the effects of the gas. I'm Adam.
And I'm Patrick. I made this docket, so tell me how I did.
Hey everybody, Steve here, and I'm just glad to be anywhere.
Today we're going over Seeking Justice, Butter, and Look Who's Back. Please stick around.
Hello!
Nice work, Adam, on the hello. Let's hear another one. Give me another one.
Hello!
That's perfect. Back again with the megaphone. I love it. It's there just for you. I put it in the center, but it's for all to own.
I don't know how we can ever go back now.
It's chosen you, really. The megaphone.
The horn of power. I feel strong.
Only you can wield it.
I feel strong in my pants.
Hey, stop it.
And we all became quiet.
Welcome to Papa Steve. Papa Steve, you can use the horn if you want.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we do have Papa Steve on the mic. Papa Steve, what's going on, man?
Hey everybody, glad to be here. Good to see all you guys again. Saw everybody coming up, filing into the studio in the lobby. So hey to everybody in the studio audience. Hey to everybody on the live feed. Looking good. Glad to be back. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's great to have you. And as Patrick said, Patrick, you built the docket, man. You are the docket master for this week.
Yeah, so earlier this week I was doing nothing at the house, and I was like, well, maybe I have some movies to watch. And instead of going back and watching that long laundry list of movies that I've skipped over our course of 56 episodes now. 46, 56.
44?
44.
But it's close. Well, you know, it'll be 45. This is 45.
Yeah.
This is 45?
Indeed.
No, isn't this 46?
Maybe it'll be 46. You're right.
Before you know it, it'll be our 100th episode.
Yes, it's true.
I can't wait for that anniversary episode.
We're coming up on 2,000 listens.
It's going to be epic.
I mean, I'm not good at math, but that's a lot. A lot of people have
That's
tuned
more
in.
than 100.
We started generating revenue, which
Yes, we did.
I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, we won't be spending out of new equipment, just more early times.
Yeah.
I think is all we have budgeted.
All our profits go to early times.
Right, and then ginger ale.
Yes.
The ice is free, though, so we're good there. But so Patrick put the doc together, Seeking Justice, Butter, and Look Who's Back. Did you have like kind of something in your mind when you were putting this together? Adam just does this. He's a master. I don't even question him. But did you like these ones, or you just kind of flip and then?
No, so I know Adam has a method to it. There's kind of algorithm that he uses. And then
Sheer random guessing.
Oh, okay.
Dartboard.
I was going through. I did a couple of
Mental
YouTube
rock,
searches
paper, scissors.
of like, hey, this movie might be good. But then I was searching, and so the first thing I did was type in Adam.
Oh, nice.
And then I took my scroll wheel and I just whizzed it as hard as I could.
It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Deleted all of Adam Sandler.
And then I found, I think Adam's movie was Seeking Justice, Dale was Butter, and I was
jeez.
Look Who's Back.
I got
So
words for that.
That was how I figured out what to watch.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, we're not going to talk about it now. We'll get there eventually. Butter's our second one up.
Save it for the cast.
Still save it for the cast. First one up is a 2011 film, Seeking Justice. This is Nick Cage, one of my favorites. But it only got a 6.2 on IMDb. After his wife is assaulted, a husband enlists the services of a vigilante group to help him settle the score. Then he discovers they want a favor from him in return.
Mm-hmm.
You want to roll the trailer? Let's do
roll
it. Rated R.
Happy anniversary.
It's beautiful.
It's ugly.
It's terrible.
Anchor Bay Films. Endgame. Something. Bay.
January Jones.
Bad guy.
Nick Cage.
She has several deep lacerations. Internal.
Guy Pearce is in this
Jessica
one.
Carpenter
Guy-
from Dexter.
Oh,
So,
yes, that's what she's from.
Nick Cage's wife is raped.
The man's done it before. He'll do it again.
So Guy Pearce comes to Nick Cage.
Who are you? I represent an organization that loves this city. We're tired of watching it go to hell. I really don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
And all those things are ad-lib, so he really didn't know what he was talking
At
about.
some point in the future.
That might not be true.
Nick Cage did not actually know they were shooting.
You only memorized 3 lines for this whole movie.
They actually just followed Nick Cage for about a week.
This is just a story
Made a movie off of it.
Little known fact.
This is a documentary film.
We should go to the cops. We tell them everything.
Some of them are cops. When it's done, you call me. A promise is a promise, Will. You have no idea what this guy is capable of.
Where have you been? Thought I heard you walking around.
Sir, we have a warrant
Justice
for murder.
has
What the hell is happening?
a price.
Oh, boy. Oh, jeez.
Nicolas Cage,
Oh,
January
man.
Jones, and Guy Pearce.
As the beer.
Let's not forget what we did for you.
That was a little bit of a tell,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Don't watch the trailer.
We're just a few citizens
Just listen to it?
seeking justice.
Well, listening doesn't
Seeking
give it away like how that
justice.
visual just did.
Guy Pearce with the titular line. Boom. He's got it.
Easy for you to say.
So anyway, that's that, guys. That's Seeking Justice. 6.2 at IMDb. That's crazy talk. Papa Steve, you are a Nick Cage fanatic.
Am I?
Didn't even abbreviate. Use the full term.
Yes. No, that's untrue, correct?
No, that's fine. I'm not a.
Okay, you're not a hater.
I'm Nick Cage neutral.
Okay. I gotcha. What did you think of this one, man?
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a stereotypical Nick Cage movie.
Sure.
You know, regular guy gets into some weird crap. You know,
Shouldn't be
rises
there.
to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly.
Blah blah blah.
Right.
I thought it was a pretty exciting movie. I thought it was interesting. I looked down at the clock about an hour 15. It started to get long.
Okay.
It's like, okay, let's
Wrap it up.
okay,
Yeah,
I get
past
it.
90 minutes.
I get the
Let's
thing
go.
here. Let's
Right.
let's get it going here. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if we want to get into the whole thing, but the ending kind
That's what we're
of
here for.
Yeah, we're here to break
the
it down.
ending kind of wrapped up a little too neat until the last
There's a last little jab that makes
little
you go,
jab.
whoa.
Woo woo.
Yep.
And then I went, okay, I'm back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And roll credits.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Dale,
Adam.
why don't you, no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'll go ahead.
Are you going to flip it back to me?
I was going to flip it to you, but you were going to flip it to me. Go ahead.
We'll give it to Patrick.
Let's flip it.
Patrick, just take it.
It's a
Flip.
It's a toss
Script
up.
flip.
It's a jump ball, and you know you're always going to get the jump balls over me. Patrick,
Mental rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3.
paper. I knew you were going to say rock.
I picked scissors.
Oh,
Not really. It was in my mind, so you couldn't verify. Anyway, Patrick, go ahead.
I don't know you as well as I thought I did.
It was
All
probably
right,
rock.
The cast is
Totally
ruined.
picked rock.
I know you were going to pick rock. That's why I picked paper.
Yeah.
But anyway, I secede.
Yeah, IMDb 6.2, action drama thriller, runtime 100 minutes, 105 minutes, budget 17 million. Good portion of it went to Nick Cage. I got him pretty sure. Like Papa Steve was saying, it was enthralling the entire time. It kind of hit a lull at a little point, and then the last like huge twist at the end, you're like, oh, that was good. And then
You almost kind of knew
But-
how it was going to end, but did you?
You knew something,
Yeah.
but what did you know?
mhm.
Right.
It's really good. It's kind of one of those secret society movies, and then you know hijinks unfold and everything happens, and then Nick Cage is caught in the middle of it. He's got to make a choice here. He's got to choose here, and then
Yeah. Well, he plays the English teacher. Really good guy. He's got a beautiful wife, January Jones.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Loving relationship.
Loving relationship. Everything's great in his life.
Mhm.
Then his wife gets raped and assaulted, and
Leads him down this path to.
And then that's when Guy Pearce approaches him in the hospital and says, "Hey, do you want justice? We can take care of this guy for you." And it's like, no charge. We're just going to ask a favor of you later down the line.
Right.
And so the whole movie's kind of about him, Nick Cage. They want him to repay the favor,
Right.
and the hijinks kind of ensue from there. Like
Per
you said.
per
So,
usual.
Yeah, pretty good though.
It was pretty cool.
I mean, okay, I'm going to push back on you guys. I did like this one, and I was there the whole time. I was involved, watched it beginning to end. But this whole movie, which, okay, we know it's just a movie. I hate when it's so, obnoxiously obvious when you can do one thing and everything could be okay. which I can't get into too much because it kind of blows the rest of the film. But if he, how about this? No, if he goes to the cops, if he's an English teacher and his wife's a celloer,
Professional musician.
right? If they went to the police within the first 4 minutes of this film, it would have been taken care of.
But they are the police.
Maybe, maybe not. But either way, it was a good one to stick around for. It was a good one to pay attention to.
There's some cool secret society stuff in there.
Guy Pearce is awesome, and I say Guy Pearce is awesome as often as I can. Also, this director did some great stuff in the past, and I just have a little bit of room in my notes. I'm using a small piece of paper, which I don't know why. The Fastest Indian with Anthony Hopkins is really good. November Man with James Bond. Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Dante's Peak again with Pierce Brosnan. So like this guy's, he's good for those just Saturday afternoon action films. So he definitely hit the mark here. Kept me there the whole time. Me and my wife were playing the game Space Team on our phones together while this movie started, and we ended up halfway through setting the phones down and just diving totally into this one. So it definitely brought me in. Pretty good watch. So that said, what do you think, Adam? I mean, you said, it kept you there the whole time.
Yeah, I thought I really liked the beginning. First couple minutes really grab you. Fast start. And a little tie back later in the movie. So the beginning definitely starts to pace off really well. I noticed I thought you picked this because there was a Saints reference, and it takes place in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
And Patrick's a big Saints fan, and they were like, who dat? Or who day, or whatever they're...
New Orleans, right? Who dat?
Yeah, it's like Nick Cage, like, hey, we're New Orleans. We like football. Go Saints. Drew Brees is the best.
right.
And then they were going to the... One scene, they go to the Superdome.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, they go to a Saints game, and Patrick's going to love this movie. But it was actually just a monster truck rally. So.
It was the biggest letdown.
So a couple...
It's like they couldn't afford a Saints game.
No, they couldn't.
Exactly. A couple weeks ago, we watched the movie
Long Shot.
And,
they had those long shots.
That one. Curb Your Enthusiasm could only shoot there for, like, these many minutes at this inning at this time. And so I wonder, like, this movie had such little budget that they're like, all right, man, we need to do this at a football game. They're like, no.
Well,
you can't do that. You only got the budget for a monster truck rally.
It was a pretty good monster truck rally.
It was pretty cool to watch.
Like Papa Steve said, I looked down and when I hit pause and looked at the time left, there's still 53 minutes left. And I was like, ugh. Because
what are they going to do?
A lot happened already.
Right.
Like what?
It's about time to wrap this up.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So
let's get to the dramatic conclusion.
I think they could have sped it up at least by 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it dragged a little bit towards the end on you.
Yeah, it did.
Story-wise, it just dragged. I gotcha. Well, tell you what. I mean, I have one more note left here. Why is Guy Pearce not in everything? I think he's great as a bad guy. He's great as a good guy. What the heck? He's not in everything. I think
that's true. I wonder why.
I want him in everything. That's my last note.
I think he intimidates a lot of people.
Was he in Lost?
No, he wasn't in Lost. But the character Michael from Lost was in this one as his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's another reason why I picked it. I was looking
Didn't
through.
like him in Lost. Didn't like him in this movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he played the same type of character.
Mm.
And that's all I'll say.
Be careful. I was like, get that spoiler mantle ready.
He's in everything.
All right. Well, tell you what. Let's do rewatch and recommend. Papa Steve, you gonna rewatch this one, or are you gonna recommend it?
I would rewatch it because there's probably some cool stuff that I missed. I don't think it was awesome. I don't think it was epic, but it was pretty cool. I'd watch it again.
Okay, Patrick. What about you, man? What about a recommendation, Pops? Would you tell anyone to watch this one, or
yeah?
Okay,
yeah, I would.
Okay, Patrick. What about you, man?
I think I'll definitely rewatch this, but if you're not a fan of like Nick Cage trying to cry, I wouldn't watch this movie.
He did a great job at crying.
If you say it's a Nicolas Cage movie, they already know what it's going to be like.
Right, you're attracting a certain customer.
Right.
Yeah, but
Nicolas Cage, they either okay, I got it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Recommend. Did you go?
It's a certain type of person that
Sure.
you'd recommend this to.
Okay.
And you know your people.
People that
Right.
love my real tears, Patrick.
We have Nick Cage here on the mic, everyone. He just came in.
Real tears.
Nick Cage, give me back my phone.
Nick Cage, put the megaphone down.
I can only have it.
Adam,
And
rewatch,
he's
recommend.
screaming at Anger, pulling his hair out.
I don't know, man. I mean, I did it, and well, you're over there, and that's just what you're gonna do.
Back off.
Back off, Nick Cage. Rewatch, recommend, Adam.
That means rewatch. I don't know. Maybe I kind of was. It was a vac act for me.
Gotcha.
So I might want to sit down and pay a little more attention. Maybe there's some parts I missed.
Check 1890studios.com. That's 1890studios.com. We have a glossary up there for things we like to say. And Adam just mentioned a vac act, which is, of course, a vacuum action, an action film you watch while you vacuum. I just told you, but there's more definitions up at the website.
We're gonna start. We're gonna save some time on the podcast. Airtime. Time is money.
Because right now, even talking about it,
We throw
and
out
me
our-
repeating it, I'm burning up time.
We throw out our vocabulary, and
Right.
in the time we're spending right now talking
We're
about our
burning up
vocabulary,
time right now.
we could just tell people to go to the 1890studios.com
/
glossary.
Is that from the book? Is that in the book?
You can pre-order the book on the website right now. I think it's a
What's
600...
the ETA on that thing getting published?
Oh, it's not even close. But you can pre-order.
Patrick's reading the ebook, the audiobook. He's reading it.
I'd say it'd be a good Christmas, like 2025 Christmas gift.
Right.
Oh, I'll download that.
Yeah.
Again, you can pre-order it right now. Get the
Right.
the pre-order copy. I mean, it's basically just a glossary page.
You
but-
could download what you have now and then just subscribe to subsequent chapters.
Yeah,
need,
you can do that. You
It's
can
it's an RSS.
Subsequent chapters could be a podcast.
It's almost like a podcast.
have to spin off a podcast for the pillow.
But as Adam said, we could have saved all this time if you guys just went to the website to check the glossary out. So, Adam, go on.
To the glossary or what I was talking
No,
about?
no, what you're
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, anyway.
We could go to the glossary. That's
Wicca 90. Wicca 18. No, never mind.
Wicca 90. Wicca 90pedia.
Wicca 1890pedia.
Not to be confused with Studios 1890. Shout out to Studios 1890, our sponsor.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Send us some swag.
Don't talk about the sponsor. Send us some
Edit
swag.
that in post.
Studios 1890, bringing you swag since 1890.
Nice.
So yeah, I would recommend though. I think if you want a good easy action, if you want to just have you got very Saturday to do, you're a guy that wants to just watch.
You're in a Nick Cagey place.
You want to watch Nick Cagey place.
Right.
You know, it's a cool movie. Take some twists, take some turns. Nothing too crazy though.
Sure.
Even though I was vacuuming, I can still pay attention to the plot twists and all that stuff. So
Right.
it's a light recommend and it's a light rewatch for me.
That's a good way to put it.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm on board. I'm stealing yours, Adam. That's great because, as Patrick said, if you got a Nick Cagey friend, boom, send it to him. If you're in a Nick Cagey vacuum mood, boom, hit it.
If you're not in a Nick Cagey mood,
just start vacuuming.
well, this movie will get you into a Nick Cagey mood.
There you
There
go.
you go. All right.
We got to bring this one down the liquor store aisle, gentlemen. Patrick, looking at you, the docket master of this cast, what do you compare with this one, man?
I gave it like a Japanese whiskey because I know I've had American whiskeys and I've had Irish whiskeys, but nothing really compares to like a Japanese whiskey for me.
Okay.
And so this isn't like Nick Cage and Leaving Las Vegas. This isn't like Nick Cage and Face Off. It kind of like,
I didn't know they had whiskey.
oh yeah,
I've never had Japanese whiskey.
oh,
I don't even know what whiskey is.
Better than American whiskey?
it's not better than Irish whiskey and it's not better than Early Times. But like if you gave me a,
This podcast is sponsored by Early Times.
Always on time.
it's middle of the pack American, doesn't even hold a candle to Irish whiskey. So.
Okay, so how does it compare to this film? Why'd you pick this one?
Well, because it's like that middle of the Nick
spectrum.
Cage spectrum.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
you know, you got Leaving
All right.
Las Vegas and Irish whiskey, and you have
I thought it was Leaving Arizona.
Leaving Las Vegas.
What's the Arizona one he's in, Nick Cage?
Gone in 60 Seconds?
No, it's something Arizona.
That's leaving North Dakota.
Ah, that's what it is. Papa Steve, what do you got for a drink review on this one?
Well, coincidentally, I had a whiskey as well. Kind of a nasty, maybe like an old granddad, because it was, it was kind of rough. You knew what you were getting into, but it was a little bit rough.
It's classic
Yep.
Nick Cage, classic
And-
whiskey.
Exactly. You know what you're getting. It's doing the job. Boom.
Boom, that's it.
Old granddad.
AP, looking at you, man. Take us down to the liquor store.
Yeah, I gave it a Svedka vodka. I thought it's like middle shelf.
Sure.
It's a vodka, so it's like a Nick Cage. I don't usually get into it, but sometimes I do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm drinking it and I'm like, it's not so good. Other times I'm like, it's pretty good. And then throughout, you're going back and forth. Is it good? Is it not good? It's okay. You end up right in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. It's just a middle shelf vodka, something you don't drink everything.
Sure.
It's not the best, it's not the worst, but get the job done.
Okay, I got you. I have written down a fuzzy navel. I haven't had one of these in some time, and for good reason. I haven't watched a lot of Nick Cage films recently, and for good reason. I started watching this film, and I didn't like it because, like I told you guys, this could have been solved in 4 minutes. Why, you started...
I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So I started this fuzzy navel, and I'm like, 4 minutes into this fuzzy navel, I'm like, this is bad. But, you keep drinking fuzzy navels, and you keep drinking fuzzy navels, and you have your 19th.
Fuzzy navel?
You go, it's just a wine cooler. So you're on your ninth. You're on your.
No, it's a drink. Isn't it?
Is it a drink? I thought a fuzzy navel was just
No, that's a drink.
Okay,
dude.
so you're on your 12th fuzzy navel.
I don't know what you were drinking.
12.
And you realize you're like, you know what, this movie isn't that bad, and then it ends, and you're like, okay, that was a good one.
You're gonna barf.
I don't think I ever had a wine cooler. Have you guys had wine coolers?
The only fuzzy navel I know is a wine cooler.
No, that's a thing, dude.
Well, it could be a thing, but it's also a wine cooler.
I think
Peach,
it's like
peach schnapps and orange juice.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to consult the book of knowledge here. Is it a type in wine cooler after fuzzy navel?
Go into the search engine.
Did you put peach schnapps and orange juice into a wine cooler
I
bottle?
think you put some Svedka in there, too.
Yeah.
You get 12 of those, you'll be vomiting.
In no time.
You will. And you'll never drink them again. Believe me, whiskey sours. Enough said.
Bingo. That's what I'm talking about right there. Those little baby wine cooler bottles.
Huh. All right.
One time when I was 18, I tried to go to a bar and order a drink. They're like, what do you want? And I was like, I think I've heard of a whiskey. I want whiskey sour. And the guy's like, let me see your ID.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
And then you ran out.
Then I walked away. Then I ran in shame.
You'll never get me, Papa.
Adam instantly goes to a 1920s. Yeah, see, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, all right.
Right. I'm
You'll
gonna
never catch me. I'm the fastest legs
Right,
this side of the Mississippi.
I got Jimmy legs faster than Patrick, you see?
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, see, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, all right. But anyway, that's me, Fuzzy Navel, and that is all for Seeking Justice. We got to move on to, I guess, a movie that's attributed to me, Butter. This is a 2011 film. We're sticking in the 2011s, Patrick. I don't know.
67% of the movies we watch this week are from 2011, yes.
Nice, okay. In Iowa, an adopted girl discovers her talent for butter carving and finds herself pitted against an ambitious local woman in their town's annual contest. 6.2 IMDb.
You remember?
Thank you, Adam. It's comedy, maybe. I don't know. If the runtime's 9, okay. Let's go ahead and roll the trailer.
Hurry up, would you?
I believe we are the best. I have spent my life working hard, trying to do the right thing.
That's Jennifer
I just
Gardner.
hope when you vote, you remember that.
Who has a secret crush on me?
I'd like to remind
This
you
is
what
the
this
story
contest
of
is
the-
about.
American family picture.
It is about excellence in butter. God bless America.
Welcome to the Steak Mastery in Butter competition.
This can't be a real thing.
No, they got a Last Supper sculpture of
All
butter.
right.
Back in '94, Bob reveals Schindler's
Bob
List.
Pickler.
It just made me cry. And we're not even Jewish.
I really think Bob and I could parlay this fame we have from butter into politics. I mean, don't be surprised if you see us in the governor's mansion or the White House. This will be your bedroom.
You know how you guys asked if I needed anything?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have butter.
I'll get you some.
Okay, I'm gonna need like 200 pounds.
Record scratch.
I think I love you.
My real name's Brooke.
So that's Drinking Buddies. Olivia Wilde.
You came in between me and my man. Bob is my husband. I plan on proudly bearing his children. So, I get pregnant like once a month. You see what I have planned for them. These so-called judges, their jaws are gonna hit the floor.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh
Jackman.
Have you worked with butter before?
Baller.
I've worked with it all.
What's the worst thing that could happen if you enter this contest?
There could be a python in
This
this,
is the best.
She is
Full of
freaking
good-looking British
awesome.
vampires.
or racist ninjas.
I present to you the Scarlet Letter. For those of you who don't know, it's a movie starring Demi Moore.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I think that might be Harriet Tubman. And she obviously decided to play the race card. You can do this. You can take down Laura Pickler. You kick her pasty white ass.
I don't think I want you hanging out with strippers, okay?
Butter is the greatest gift in life.
Rob Corddry does a great job. Alicia Silverstone, too.
You people are ridiculous. It's butter. You put it on toast. Oh, and newsflash. It's bad for you. Yeah, I said it out loud. What? Really? The butter police? Wow.
So that's Butter.
So watching the trailer, it looks like a funny movie, right?
Sure.
It looks good. You
Yeah.
look at the cast, it looks like
Got some comedy
it's
people.
really
Big
good.
cast.
Yeah. And then you see the description. Like I was thinking, remember Mascots? How it was a movie.
Exactly.
That's exactly
Papa Steve said that to me
what
yesterday.
I thought it was going to be like. But like, the undertones of this movie are just.
I was confused.
Yeah, I don't know what it was trying to come across with, and then the biggest plot hole for me is I don't know if you guys ever picked up butter and like actually touched it with your hands.
No.
No.
I mean,
I've touched butter.
Well, it instantly melts, and so I don't know how.
right. Well, they're in chilled environments. They're always in like a cooler.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
Adam, can you tell us about your previous butter?
Touching?
Nope, that's for me and for me to know alone. Patrick, word of advice from the docket master to the docket novice. When you pick a movie and everyone starts shitting on it immediately, you stick to your guns. Even like you had no idea what this movie was about, pretend like you did. And they will
follow.
Everyone will think like, oh, this is a bad movie. Be like, yeah, guys, I know. I picked it. That's why I picked it, man. Just own it.
Be
you gotta
tough.
own it. Fake it till you make it.
Well, I've seen this.
Do it every day.
I've seen this movie before.
Right, look at me. I'm a fraud.
Well, here I am, podcasting, drinking all the time, so I haven't made that many bad decisions in life.
God, yeah.
So,
What were we talking about?
when this movie came out, I
basically
watched
Patrick is justifying butter.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, all right.
Let's hear this.
So I've seen this movie before, and I laughed hysterically probably like the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Sure.
And then as it started to unfold, I was like, oh yeah, this happens. Oh yeah, this happens. So it's probably a YouTube comedy for me. You know?
Okay, sure.
It's along that line. So I know it's got a 6.2 on IMDb, which is really upsetting because I think it's way too high for this movie. It's got a runtime of 90 minutes, which I thought was just another check mark for movies that I like. But again, like it just didn't come to fruition at the end, and it only grossed domestically $70,000. So
wow,
the American people really voted with their wallets on this one.
Right? Yeah, that's I think like the crew, like and family went to go see it, and that's all. That would like add up to what they made.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an interesting film. Some parts were kind of funny, but it kept taking like weird political jabs, just like here and there, and like race. You know, they brought up race in a very strange way, which like unnecessary. Like they pushed it, like they pushed too much of it, and it was like that's not how things really are. But anyway, we're watching a movie, so we got to kind of take those things in stride. But I mean, there were some funny things that came out to me in one butter competition. Jennifer Gardner made a JFK assassination sculpture, and so they like start doing quick still shots of like the different angles of it, and then one of them just like zooms in on JFK's blown open head. I'm like,
chunk of butter
it's
skull,
just butter, and I go like, dude, that's I don't know if it's risky or hilarious, but I'm laughing either way. So some of this stuff was funny. Cordtree's character, he's the stepfather to the adopted child who
Jennifer Gardner's opposite.
Right, enters the competition against Jennifer Gardner. He did a great job. I think he's and Adam said during the trailer they share a scene in a car where the little girl is nervous, and Rob Corddry goes to her and says, like, what's the worst that can happen? And they start listing off worst things that could have happened, and it was a pretty funny and still heartfelt kind of moment.
And at the end of the movie, there's They show the outtakes.
Bunch of outtakes.
And then a lot more of the car scene in the outtakes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny, kind of touching. So that was a cool little part. But overall, I mean, it took a long time to. I wrote down 20 minutes and 35 seconds in the actual plot is revealed, but it never really hits its stride. And I want Papa Steve to go on a little bit about this because we were kind of going off cast a little bit before, but it kind of like couldn't. You were like adding stuff to the pot, but it couldn't like start to boil. If we're using that analogy, apparently, like you kept adding things and it could never pick up steam.
Right. I wrote down like 6 minutes in, I was already bored / confused. I was like, okay, is this trying to be like a best in show kind of a thing? Okay. So then I kind of like started watching it that way. No, that wasn't working. Is it trying to be like a dark humor thing? Okay, well, part of that works, part of it doesn't work. Okay, wait a minute. This thing's rated G. This is for no,
right,
this is way not rated G. So I was just there was some parts in it that I laughed. There were some parts that it was interesting, but it was like bits and pieces and chunks, and it was. I'm not sorry that I watched it, but I don't think I would recommend it to anybody.
Right. Patrick, what do you think about this one now? I mean, picking up pace, like story, driving story, stuff like that. Do you think it had it, or am I just
I think
crazy?
they probably skipped the storyboard with it because they
Okay.
probably have like, oh, well, it's going to be about a butter competition. Here's how we get to the end. Here's the end. And they were trying to like not film it backwards, but they just weren't. It didn't feel like it was a linear movie. Like it feels like things were moved around at some point.
Right.
And they chopped it up here and they edited it in
Exactly.
post a little
it was like
bit.
chunks.
Yeah. So good to go off what Papa Steve's saying. Like there's several storylines, like kind of like Train to Busan, where like they have all these storylines, but
sure.
The reason for In Train was they were building to something. For this one, it was like, okay, well, we could get a laugh here,
right?
And that's where that storyline ends. We're not doing anything else with it, so we're gonna go here now, and eventually they end up at the state fair butter competition, and like the whole. What do you call it? The big reveal or the prestige happens,
Sure.
and it just wasn't a business. Big payoff for it.
They almost could have made like 2 movies out of this because the tension grew and stuff happened, blah blah blah, and like in the middle of the movie, like you could have had an ending almost, and you could have made the second half of the movie Butter 2. But I don't know. It's just again, which just throws like a weird wrench in it. It's like, well, where does the pacing go if you could have ended in the middle, but then there's like 2 stories put into one?
If they would have done it like a first in show or a Mascots, I think this movie would have done a lot better at the box office instead of
add a little too much drama-y stuff. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Adam, pacing. Do you think it was there? Did you get all thrown off, or were you there the whole time, loved every second?
Oh, no, man. It's like, I think Patrick, you guys kind of nailed it. It's like, you have all these great actors. You got Jennifer Gardner, who's, she's a kind of uppity, tight, kind of suburban housewife person.
She played like the same role as I think like in Juno. She was just like super optimistic, driving, right.
And then you got the dad from Family Guy in it, who's or not Family Guy, Modern Family. Thank you. And he's in it for a little bit, and he brings his own sense of humor. He's funny in his own way.
Sure.
And then you have Rob Corddry, who's funny in his own way. And then you have Olivia Wilde, whose character is funny in her own way. And then you have all these little parcels, and it's just like, I think there's one scene in there for everybody. For me, it was the car scene, but because there's all different types of comedy into this one, it was just a buckshot.
Yeah.
All across we're gonna have no coherent comedy theme. We're just gonna put all these actors in there, and everyone gets their scene, and someone will like something.
And Phyllis from The Office had some funny things. She was great. Phyllis, she was funny,
and
also,
that other girl too.
From Flight of the Conchords and
Beautifully Awkward.
Yeah, whatever.
Last Man on Earth.
But
okay.
But like you said, there's a lot of character like the dad from Family Guy or Modern Family. He's in there for like the first 15 minutes. He's the number one guy, and then he just fades away.
Yeah, takes a back seat.
And then we're gonna throw Hugh Jackman in there for 20 minutes, and then we're gonna. And then Olivia Wilde's in here, and then she's gonna just peter out.
Yeah,
like there's no character resolution for a lot of people. It's just kind
you
of
build them up and then let them loose, and they kind of fade away.
Right.
A lot of those big characters. So I don't know. It's like, what's their drive? I don't know.
It's
Again,
all about the butter.
It's about something. That's for sure. I don't know. Papa Steve, you got anything else to add for this one, or are we going to dip into rewatch?
I think we can go to rewatch. I think the only thing that I would add is I know that Jennifer Garner has pretty much a secret crush on me.
She did email me about you.
Well, she is playing hard to get.
Naturally.
To the extent that she never calls me and has gone as so far as to have children with other men.
That's
hardcore.
She's really...
That's hardcore.
She's showing some signs.
That's some resolution.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's next level crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
right.
She doesn't know what she's
I want to
missing.
stay away.
That's how much... You know what? You might be right.
So are you going to recommend...
She's like a stalker crazy.
Are you going to recommend this to any other Jennifer Gardner fans?
I would recommend that they would not watch it.
Now Papa Steve's playing hard to get.
Yeah.
Take that, Jen.
Two can play at this game.
This time, it's for real. Patrick, rewatch, recommend. What are you going to do?
Like I said, I'd rewatch the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie just for a good laugh. But, like, sitting down, watching the whole thing over again, telling somebody to watch the whole thing over again, I couldn't do that to somebody.
Right.
YouTube com.
YouTube com. You com. No? I don't know. Check the glossary. Adam, rewatch, recommend. What are you going to do for butter?
No.
No.
Don't waste your time. Just YouTube the scene with Rob Corddry and the little girl in the car.
And the outtakes, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, you're not taking much away from this movie. This was somebody's, I don't know. It was just
butter melted.
It was just buttery, and just you can't eat butter by itself. It's well, you can't. I guess you can. But anyway, yeah, don't recommend it. It's just you're not going to get anywhere. You're not really going to get much out of it, I don't think. So let's bring it down to liquor store aisle. Back to you, Adam. Flip the script. What do you got for this one?
I gave it a 40 ounce of Old E.
Old English. Oldie English.
Yeah. It starts off nice and cold, and then by the end of it, it's just warm goop.
Gross.
And it's disgusting. And you struggle through those last 24 ounces or so.
Yeah, 3/4 of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not meant to be drank that way.
Yeah.
It's not a good beer in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need that in your life.
You don't.
Stay positive.
Patrick, bring us on liquor store aisle.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but I referenced a beer or a drink from that Harry Potter party I went to a long time ago.
Yeah, we didn't get our invites.
No. Anyway, so while I was there, somebody offered me a butter beer, and I said, "Oh, that sounds really good." And then they give it to me.
Newsflash.
It was not very good. There was no alcohol in it, and it was just like a milkshake that was warm. So I was really upset. So like I said, the idea of it sounds great, but by the execution, it was such a disappointment.
Okay. So. That's a great description. Papa Steve, what do you think? Bring us on liquor store aisle.
I think it's one of those, what did you call them? Those garbage can parties where everybody just takes a bottle and pours something in?
I think that's what homeless people do.
You're in traffic, and then you're at a red light, and the garbage truck's in front of you, leaking all the garbage juice.
No.
Oh, that's
not
tank.
that.
That's tank 432.
It's not tank 432.
That's tank 432.
No,
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
What do you mean a garbage party?
Just like, you just have this big vessel that people
jungle?
come and just, somebody's going to throw some gin in it, somebody's going to throw some wine in it, somebody's got some vodka, somebody's got some whiskey, and then everybody just dips in and just has this drink. Right.
It's terrifying.
So individually,
right,
it might have all been good, but when it's all together...
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. That sounds terrifying.
It's more like a college thing, if I'm honest.
Is that it's not like jungle juice. It's like, it's far beyond jungle juice.
I think it's called trash can gin or something.
Bathtub gin?
No. You just dump it all into a big bucket and just...
Do they add at least some flavoring, some fruit to make it a sangria?
Maybe somebody's going to bring something in.
Wow.
What fraternity is this?
Never do the roofies, but okay.
Could be an ingredient.
Yeah, tomato.
I wrote down, this is butterscotch schnapps. Scotch schnapps.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You think, you're like, oh man, this is going to be good. It's going to be like a buttery crown. but there's no Crown Royal. It's just butterscotch schnapps in it. That's terrible. So that's kind of what this one's about. You're like, yeah, no, it's going to be good, but it ends up being terrible. So let's bring it down to liquor store aisle. Last one up, gentlemen, is Look Who's Back. This is a 2015 film. I don't think we can watch the trailer. This is in German. Although Papa Steve could translate it all, it would be quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
So, we can't roll the trailer. Adolf Hitler wakes up in the 21st century. He quickly gains media attention, but while Germany finds him hilarious and charming, Hitler makes some serious observations about society. So, Adam, good, bad from what you saw? Continue watching? Don't bother watching? I mean, we're not doing rewatchability just yet, but you still got a little bit to watch. Semi-robbed.
9% robbed.
Sure.
But I don't know. It was kind of what I watched. It wasn't. It was intriguing. I'll say that. It was like, what's this? How's this movie gonna go?
Right.
Then I came over here and watched some of it. And then you kind of answered that question, how it really went. It takes a lot of different directions, actually.
Sure.
It's so it's like a comedy. Patrick fill us in a little bit. Comedy, a little bit of a political piece. This guy's in a comedy there.
Kind of mockumentary
almost, but it's well, I mean, I would say it's society defying because it's let's take a historical figure and put it in present day and see what he has to say about the modern day, and that comes with some interesting takes, no matter how you slice it.
Right.
So I don't know. What'd you think about it?
I did a half Rob. I think I did about 60% of the film, and I can't get my head around it. So Hitler comes back. Okay, we read that to you, and he meets first he meets like just a newspaper stand guy who just he has a cart with all his trinkets on it and stuff. He's selling just his wares there, and he's like, man, you really sound like Hitler, and you got all, you're speaking like Hitler, and you're, and this Hitler doesn't know what year he's there at. So it's like off the start, you're like, okay, this is kind of interesting because, Hitler is, in nowadays times, like that's pretty strange. And so he starts asking questions about, what he's reading in the newspaper and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of hooked. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, how is this going to go? This could be the most evil person that's ever walked the face of the earth. So how, besides Genghis Khan, but how does...
That's what I understand, because when we watched part of it, it looked like he wasn't full-on Hitler. He wasn't like, oh, you're Jewish? Like, why is this Jew talking to me?
Well, yeah, and he was having conversations with, like, black people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Is
so I understand what, like...
Where did the line end?
Is he Hitler... a little more relaxed Hitler, or is he like just hiding everything, or
is he just ramping up to
the
Hitler
like
we all know and hate?
Right. It's interesting too because this movie's shot in like half like a movie like story mode, and then half as Patrick puts it, guerrilla filmmaking. So they'll just have a bunch of cameras in a town square, and he'll be asking people questions. There's this part where he's like painting basically terrible pictures of people, like not bad, just like poorly done. Yeah, but it's just like that's the funny thing. It's like how real people on the street, not written actors, how they react and stuff like that. And you see it in both ways. You see this is hilarious. Look how you look like Hitler. Ha ha ha. And some people come up and go, dude, this is not right. You got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So it brought me both ways. It's like, okay, this is a funny, different take on Hitler. Okay. It's not a comedic, premise to begin with, but like, let's see what you can do with it.
Well, the Germans are known for their comedy.
Yeah, right? What's that big German comedy troupe?
Crickets?
Right. So, I don't know. I'll go into it a little bit later. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Papa Steve, I'm going to send it over to you. What do you think? You actually didn't rob this one. You watched the full thing, or no? Did you half rob it?
I didn't see the end of it.
Okay, so the last close.
So the premise is very interesting. Some of it was really funny. Some of it I have to sort of take with a grain of salt because the awkwardness of it made me personally uncomfortable. The guerrilla interviews, the people's thinking that this was actually Hitler or somebody impersonating him and not being amused at all. That made me uncomfortable. And then it sort of got into like real modern day politics,
right?
Which touched on some other nerves. It was sort of funny. It was sort of uncomfortable. And I have yet to put it all together.
Yeah, I agree with you. Uncomfortable is a perfect way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's humor, whether it's not humor, it's uncomfortable either way.
It wasn't like an office-y, awkward humor, like,
right.
ha, 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 we're going to get through this.
Well,
it was
some
like,
was.
This is freaking weird.
Like, some was that awkward, but
Right.
it was like, is it like an awkward humor, or is it just awkward because it's probably wrong to do? But that's up to the viewer. Patrick, what do you think about this one? Again, you're the docket master this week. You watched it all the way through?
Yeah.
And
yes.
what do you think?
This
very interesting film, regardless of what all of us think. But
so I've seen this on Netflix several times, and it's never been like recommended for me. But when you're flipping through, you'll see it under comedies, and every time I see Hitler under the comedy category, it always brings a question to my how is that possible?
That's a red flag. For
but
sure.
the whole reison I wanted to hijack the docket was to make sure you guys watch this movie, and then.
We all let you down.
Everybody let me down because I think this is one of those not polarizing, but it kind of makes you think a little bit. Not in the sense like I'm gonna have to think about this like Inception. I'm gonna have to think about this like Interstellar.
The story's not that deep.
Yeah, it's real on the surface, but like I like this movie. Because it made me think of what would happen, how would this play out, how...
like the questions Hitler asked, because he's now in 2014, that's what makes it intriguing, like what he thinks of the world at the time.
The freaky thing for me, was when he was talking to modern-day smaller political parties, when he was giving this Hitler, air quotes, type of... rhetoric that people were like getting on board, and I'm going, holy beep.
Yeah,
this is freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, this happened in the late 30s
and people are going, you know what, you got some pretty good ideas. I'm going, hold the phone, people.
Right.
Let's open up a history book.
Yeah, and that's what makes it interesting and almost worth totally diving into, because the fact that people are some in a few scenes, people were, just man on the street talking about what his ideas.
There's equal proportions of people that disagree with him as there is that people not agree but like what he's saying. So,
but were they disagreeing with the historical Hitler, or were they disagreeing with what he was saying?
A guy in present day saying things,
right?
Because it doesn't really matter. Because I could go out on the street and be like, "Do you want a job?" And then people will say, "Yes." Do you want to be provided for? Yes. Do you want to not have to make decisions for yourself? Well, maybe. It doesn't matter who's saying it. Just because Hitler's saying it doesn't mean that
this actor's got a mustache.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's more about the rhetoric than the person that's saying it. But like I said, there's just for every one person that says, hey, yeah, there's one guy giving him the finger. So.
Sure, right.
I would really want to get the German person perspective from this movie. Right. I think that interests me. I want to know what German people who watch this think about it more than I want to watch it, to tell you the truth. Because from my experiences when we were there, it's like the German people feel very guilty almost over that whole World War II business.
Maybe not guilty, but they're certainly... it's full admittance, and
remorse.
That was remorse. It was a terrible time. We understand that. It's like it's
the
out there.
The swastika's illegal. The salute is illegal.
Right.
The uniforms are illegal.
Yeah, so it's like
they understand what happened.
So this is made by Germans. So like, I'm very interested to see like how does this play over there.
Half of me was saying like, I got to give you credit for stepping up and facing this ugly thing. And some of it was like, oh, geez, really? Are you really going to go into this?
Yeah, you're going to mock this when it was...
This is a most horrible thing.
See, but then here's the other thing I'm thinking that I'm not buying, that I'm pushed... Again, I would love to know a German person's perspective to debate this about.
Sure.
But I watched this one movie called, I think it was called The Tide. It was a German movie, and it was basically placed in modern day, and it was about how they made this movement called The Tide, and how they brainwashed a lot of youth to believe in their style, and they're kind of showing. It was a teacher's experiment to show how Hitler came to power and got people to believe in his ideas and act out what he wanted.
Right.
So it's kind of like trying to explain how that could be possible, even in modern day.
Right.
And I kind of feel like this was kind of doing the same thing. It's like they're trying to not justify, but make you understand what people in the past were thinking. But still, to me, it's kind of like you guys kind of screwed up in history here. You know, you can make all the comedies you want to make about it and try to make all the movies you want to explain about it, but this is on you. So
no, that's true. I see your point there. It's like you're allowed to mess with it because it's on you, kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe
I'm saying that I don't think you can mess with it because it's on you.
Oh, I see.
Like it's like if this is Americans make a movie about Hitler. Okay, like what? I wouldn't think anything weird about it.
Sure.
But I don't know, just the messaging of it that, Hitler's funny. Look, he can convince all these other people to do it. Like, no, you did that.
Right, right.
Like if the Americans were going to make a comedy about slavery or something.
Right. You can't, yeah.
Really, it's nothing really funny about it.
Yeah.
Only Dave Chappelle can do it.
Right. Yeah, he gets passage there,
I
suppose. No, so I don't know. Like I said, I watched maybe 60% of it. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was I don't know, man. There's so many subjects to be funny about. And like, I don't know, man. I've been to Auschwitz, and there's no jokes. There's no jokes there.
But then you gotta say, hey man, if we're gonna make fun of one thing, you can't say you can't make jokes about this thing.
Right.
It's all it's all okay or it's not okay.
You're right, Patrick. Go on about that. You're right. I'm down with
that.
That's
the conflicting ideologies we're facing.
Well, I would almost put. I'm not gonna bring an argument onto the cast here, but like, I don't know.
I think we're kind of strafing away from the movie and more into.
Well, no,
politics.
I think.
But that's what
the movie brings up a lot of
I know
politics.
I like that about this movie, that it, like I said, it makes you think.
Right.
So like I'd be interested, like somebody watches this movie and then we talk about it and see how they feel. So what I would tell to the viewer is, watch this movie, head over to the Facebook, head over to the Twitter, let us know what you're thinking. 1890studios.com, and let us know what you're thinking about the movie, so we have like a general census of how the community feels about it.
I wonder if they knew it was going to be a comedy, air quotes,
right?
And it was going to turn more into a political discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so like
historical, political, discussion.
Yeah, like 70% of the movie is like scripted. Like Hitler walks into a place, he talks to this person. Yeah, and then that guerrilla part of it is really what like pushes this movie from like the 6.5s into the 7s, because it gives you that.
It changed it from a Borat.
Yeah, So I was saying earlier, like this movie's Borat meets that movie Downfall we watched.
Sure,
right.
So like it really is it's a good blend of the two, while still being something that you're going to think about. Like, hey, if this does happen,
right,
how are people going to react?
If you love it or you hate it, your brain is thinking of. I mean, it's definitely flipping a switch. I think if you're if you're paying attention to it, it's going to flip a switch on you. Whether it's like, man, this type of comedy makes you think, or this type of comedy should be, I just don't like it, or whatever. It makes you think regardless.
Well, the real of if this movie took place and it was real life, he'd be getting a SEAL Team 6 right to the back of the head. But Hitler's alive?
Right.
Nope. Not anymore, guys. Don't worry.
He'd suffer a bad case of suicide. Yeah. He'd suicide 2 bullets to the back of the head.
Well, this turned dark in a hurry.
Yeah, well, hey, man. Hitler.
Dark. But you know what? Day. We explore the net.
That's what we do. And Patrick picked it, and we had to dive into it. That's what we do. I
can't believe you picked 2 movies so far outside the wheelhouse. Whenever I pick the movies, I'm always thinking Patrick's going to hate this. It's outside the wheelhouse.
It's
he's off the reservation, man. He's crazy.
I know.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
He's wild.
Look, I'm fine. Okay.
You gave him all this DACA responsibility.
Go home, watch Tank 432. You'll be fine.
I just gotta level myself.
Find your chi. Nice with your garbage water drink.
Come on.
Where is Gerta anyway?
Was she upstairs?
Can she not hear that empty glass?
I didn't see her in the lobby.
Unbelievable.
I mean, we're past 5. We sent her home at 5:30. We didn't start till.
She knows.
She knows if it's podcast day and not research day.
She stays late. Give her a break.
She was in the lobby. I saw her by the elevators.
We worked.
Did
Saturday.
she wave? Did she wave?
We all worked.
She doesn't really wave.
You got a thing for Gerta? Or?
Hey, her old man's in the French Foreign Legion. That explains a lot.
French, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that
she's
changes
out.
everything.
She used to throw the hammer for East Germany before
before
the wall came down. Yeah.
That terrible
that.
wall.
Let's make a movie about Marie Antoinette coming back in present day and see how the French people react.
We could do that. And we can only make $70,000 though on the thing. Or was that this one? No, that was Butter.
That was Butter, yeah.
Okay. Moving quickly along. Tell you what, rewatch, recommend. Adam, how about this? Keep watching or recommend. What do you think?
I think I got to give it a once through now that we talked about it.
Okay.
I think that now that we kind of talked about it, I would like to watch it and give it a full listen, so I can give a full. Because I already bringing my own opinions into it, watching what little bits we watch. So I like to watch the full thing to see if I still feel the same way,
sure,
or if it changes my outlook now that I give the movie a full fair shake.
Right. I'm on the same board. If I have time to watch the rest of this one, I will. I'm interested to see how it ends, because like there still is a storyline. It's not just like a political, bomb that they just drop, but it's something I want to watch. And if you're into something really divisive and polarizing, I think this one is definitely worth watching.
Right. I don't want to piss off any of our German listeners. Shout out to our German listeners.
Oh, for sure.
I really want to know their take.
That's we would like to know.
Wie geht's Deutschland?
Yeah. Ich habe keine Beine. Yeah, so Dale at 1890 Studios, Adam at 1890 Studios, and Patrick at 1890studios.com. Send us an email. We want to know what you guys think. Did you guys watch it or not? Or did you guys despise it or love it?
How about some of the listeners from Germany?
Yeah,
I'd like to hear what they've got to say.
That's what I'm saying. Email us and let us know. Papa Steve, rewatch, recommend.
Rewatch, I would have to watch all the way through first, to be honest with you.
Continue watching.
I have to be honest. But it was interesting. Rewatch, I don't know yet, but it was certainly pretty interesting.
Okay. Tell anybody to watch it?
I don't know if I could say that yet.
Okay. Patrick, rewatch, recommend, brother.
Yeah, I think if there was like a movie club that I was a part of, and we got together once a week and we had to talk about movies,
and then record them and put them on the internet.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
I would definitely recommend it to a group like that.
Right.
And if
we should start something like that.
Okay, put that in the book.
All right. Movie club.
Movie, writing it down.
What if
what
we
should
like
we call it?
Podcast. Movies.
Podcast. Yeah. Netflix film. We're really gonna have to compete against ourselves. Moving on.
But yeah, I think.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, we'll do it.
I think. Yeah, I would definitely recommend.
As I
this.
said last podcast, everything good happens in post. Moving on, Patrick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would recommend this to a group of people and then discuss it with them. But I mean, if it's just like a casual viewing, I don't think I'd recommend it for somebody.
Right. There's nothing quick, fun. It's not a vac drom-com. Adam, did I go rewatch? No, you didn't. You touched on it a little bit originally.
Yes.
Then tell you what, take us down Lake Shore Isle, my friend.
Man, that's tough. I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
I'd say it's like a sip of a beer, and then you want to drink the rest. I don't know.
Right.
I got nothing. Sorry, guys.
You're waiting to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting warm though. I gotta get back there.
I have something, and when I didn't watch them all the way, I start to get crazy with my reviews. But this is something, again, I've used this before. The bartender, you just tell him, "Hey, I trust you. Make me something." We told Patrick, "Yeah, do the docket. Send me something. Put it together. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna watch it regardless. Whatever, man. Just put it in a glass for me." And I don't know what you put in here, and I don't know if it's good or if it's bad or if I like it or if I don't. I'm 60% through this glass. I should probably finish it at some point. just like this movie. So it's kind of like all over the place. Yes, I was laughing at some points, but it's like, is this something I should be laughing at? Like, I don't know. So yeah, like as Adam said, Patrick said, if you're gonna laugh at this, you got to let other stuff slide too. Is this drink morally correct to keep drinking? I don't know. But that's the thing. It's a dicey bartender, as Patrick is the dicey docket master. That's just what I feel about it. Papa Steve, bring us on Lick's Trial.
Well, at first I was doing some Hofbrau. That was my first choice.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
But I've switched it to schnapps because it's kind of sweet, it's kind of nasty, and
so is this movie.
Boom.
Right.
Enough said.
Well done.
Patrick, bring us on Lick's Trial, man.
There's a bar that's over in the region, and I forget what it's called. It's a beer. It's a German beer, and it comes in a boot, and it's like 24 ounces, and it's not a sweet beer. It's not a strong beer. It's just, it's a classic German beer with an American twist on it, but it's a good beer, and I think this was a good movie, so I'll give it that.
Okay, cool. I like it, man. I like it, gentlemen. Tell you what, let's get off the fence on this one. As Rob said, he would catch us before we went too far. Let's get off the fence. Patrick, movie of the week.
Look who's back.
Look who's back. Adam, movie of the week, off the fence, man.
The Nick Cage one.
Nick Cage. That is, what is it?
Sweet
Seeking Justice.
Something Justice.
Sweet Justice. Papa Steve, off the fence.
I'm going to say Seeking Justice.
Yeah, I'm on board, too. It's a great vac act.
It's only because you didn't watch the movie. I wanted
well,
guys to
that's
watch.
True, but still.
Well, I mean, you picked outside the wheelhouse, man.
It's your own fault. You did this to yourself.
You gotta get out of that wheelhouse, man. It's going to kill you.
You want to do the doc again next week?
Did you see how hard it is?
Come back with some...
I got your docket right here, buddy.
Look at Adam. Adam, docket, week by week. He's been building it, molding it. It's taking
a toll. You want to
do
the docket next week?
I can't do the docket. Look at you guys. You guys are looking beat up after a week of deciding the docket. I can't be doing that.
All right. Okay. I'll send it again.
Okay. All right. Papa Steve's got the docket. So, anyway, that's it for us, guys. We are the Netflix Explorers. We're on Facebook. Get up there. Tell us what you think. German listeners, please hop on Facebook. Or what's Facebook in German, Dan?
Der Facebook.
Der Facebook. Nice. So hop up there. Tell us what you thought of this one. We're kind of interested to find out. But also, we're on Twitter. We are at TheNetX, N-E-T-E-X. We're up there. Go ahead, follow us. We have all our shows popping up out there. And we're on iTunes. We are on iTunes Podcast. We're the Netflix Explorers. If you could, leave a rating and subscribe, we'd love it. We'd really appreciate it. But yeah, we're also at 1890studios.com. That's 1890studios.com. We got the glossary up there. We got a bunch of pictures of all the people who have been up, on board recently. And so if you, really love Adam's soothing voice and you want to see what he really looks like, you will not be disappointed. So he's up there on the site, 1890studios.com. Check it out if you could. Papa Steve, thank you so much for being on the podcast, brother. It's been great to have you.
Man, it's been a blast to be here. I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to go invade Poland.
Hey, wow, that's pretty good. Hey, gotta say. Patrick, thank you so much for being on the podcast, man. Great notes and great being the docket master this week, dude. Great job.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in, give 110%. Got the notes, got the docket, and
above and beyond. That's your
That's just
your middle name.
That's the Patrick way.
It's middle of the line for me.
Adam, sitting across from me once again, 1890 Studios. It's great to have you on board, brother.
What a stud.
Dude, thanks, guys. Thanks for everything you do.
It's a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to cast. We will see you guys next week. And as always, we're the Netflix Explorers saying so long and adios.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. else
Pretty
is
loud.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought it was these.
No, my nose started bleeding.
Okay. Well, I don't know if. Wow. Okay.
That might be from the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
He's got quite a good signal.
The energy.